Hello, good afternoon, or good morning. Today's class will consist of, well, before we get into the class, we'll talk about the general learning outcomes. So students will demonstrate an understanding of Aboriginal land rights, entitlements, and current land claim negotiations with the Canadian government. So that's what this unit is about. The subject learning outcomes are: students will demonstrate an understanding that land claims are those claims where land has never been ceded through treaties. You will analyze and discuss some of the reasons why Canada has not settled comprehensive land claims. Research and report on the history of land claims and note in the following: the Nisga'a First Nation petition to His Majesty Privy Council in 1913, the Indian Act, Office of Native Land Claims 1974, In All Fairness, the Native Claims Policy 1981, the Task Force to Review Comprehensive Land Claim Policies headed by Mary Kulikin, 1985. And your learning objectives for today will be: students will discuss and research people and events in Métis history. Students will reflect on the quote by David Laird on page 58. Students will analyze excerpts from Manitoba Act 1870 as rights guaranteed. Students will interpret quotes on Harold Cardinal in their own words, and students will research voting rights in Canada in groups. So basically, that is what I need from you. So those are my mandate from the government. Other than that, it doesn't really matter to you guys, but that's what I need for you guys to go forward. So today's lesson, on activity 1, it'll be listed on that piece of paper I give you. So the piece of paper, it will give you a list of activities I want for the day. So after today, you will hand in whatever activities I have here to Pam, and Pam will stamp them with a date. So today's activities are, so listen carefully, this is the part where you need to listen. Read page 54 and 57 and discuss the research people and events in the Métis history. So what you're going to do, instead of discussing, since you won't be there, maybe if you have a group of people, discuss, work together, and get your, I don't care if your work is the same, it's just got to be seen that you're all working together to get this activity done. This one here. So on page 54 to 57, research the Métis people and the Métis history. So you're going to be looking for what the Métis people do. That's your first activity. The second activity is reflection on the quote by David Laird, and that's on page 58. And on page 58, I want 2 paragraphs on his quote and what's your thoughts on it. So a reflection is always your thoughts and what you're thinking. So 2 paragraphs. The next activity is analyze excerpts from the Manitoba Act 1870 as rights guaranteed. So you go on page 56 and you get all the rights that were guaranteed to the Métis people in the Manitoba Act. And from there you write a summary of what you gathered from there. Paragraph, 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs, or a page. It's up to you. But just get her done. And the fourth activity is interpret quote from Harold Cardinal on page 59. So you interpret means paraphrase. What's your thoughts on that? You're gonna look at that quote and say, okay, well, this is what I gathered. This is what I'm taking from what I know from last lesson or a couple classes ago, and use that to your advantage. What you've learned so far from the beginning of class till now, and apply it to what you're thinking this Harold Cardinal is talking about. And the fifth and last activity for the day: research voting rights in Canada. Split into groups. So you guys are going to be split into groups. The first group is going to do white male. The second group is going to do white woman. The third group is going to do Indian people. And the fourth group is going to do black people. So basically what you guys are going to do is you're going to be split up into groups. That piece of paper I'm giving you guys will have the list of groups on there. So whoever's there in your group, you guys work together and you do a research on white males. When were they allowed to vote? Where? So the 5 W's. So and then white women, when, what, where, and were they allowed to vote? And then Indian people. Then maybe black people, there won't be really a thing on there, maybe in Canada or something, but if not, look in the United States and find out when they were allowed to vote in the US. So that's your little task there. So you're going to be using the computer to get some background on these people and when they were allowed to vote. So I'll list the group names and the group people, or the people that are in these groups. This is my first video, so it may sound a little rough. The next video I think will sound a bit better. So enjoy your day and make sure you hand your stuff in to Pam right away. Thank you. Bye.